Factors to consider while choosing a construction company, especially in a local environment in Nigeria, they are numerous and they have to be carefully thought through. The key things to consider while choosing a construction company to work with you: the competence of the construction company, the experience of the construction company, the corporate profile of the construction company, their corporate and financial standing, the size of their machinery and equipment, also the size of their workforce. And it's very important to pick a contractor that has experience in the type of project that you are looking to develop. There are contractors that are very good with high-rise buildings. There are contractors that are very good with factory buildings. There are contractors that are focused on educational and institutional buildings. So you need to be able to understand the type of experience your contractor has. And in doing this, you have to work with your architect. After you are done with your construction drawings, there's a process called the tendering process. This process could be open, that is competitive. Anybody that is interested could bid for the job. Then we also have a selective process where you work with a range of contractors with a limit and a range of experience that you just want to focus on to bid. You send out the invitation to tender to them and they bid for the job. Then you also have the type that is negotiated. Some clients understand that they don't want to go through the process of rigorous tender, so they'll just rather work with somebody that they can just agree their figure with. After this tendering process, the architect working in conjunction with the consultant QS, they are supposed to analyze whatever tender that is brought forward by any of the contractors, even if it's a negotiated tender. The QS look at the figures, the sum, the rates, and also the timeline that the contractor is proposing, while the architect look at the technical aspect. He also looks at the quality of the methodology that the contractor is proposing. So while the architect and the QS work together on this, the architect is meant to submit a tender report to the client. So if you work with an architect and consultants that understand this process, they can definitely guide you towards choosing the right contractors. And like I mentioned earlier, the key things that are major and are of most important concern when you are choosing a contractor is the size of your project and the budgets that you have in play. With this, the consultants that you are working with, they can guide you on the type of contractors that will be fitting for your project. You could shortlist, and depending on the type of project, like I mentioned, it could be open, it could be selective, and it could also be negotiated. I think if you run through this process with the guidance of your consultant, architect, and QS, you should be able to get a contractor of your choice then. So for clients who are looking to go through this process of choosing the contractor for their project without having to go through the stress or considerable stress that I've listed with the processes that is required, the building practice is here to guide you through the process. We help our clients to understand the requirements while choosing a contractor. We guide them through the tender processes. We also guide the contractors that we are bringing on board or that are bidding for the jobs through this process. And we ensure that we stick with our clients beyond design. We work with you through tendering, through construction, and even post-construction, and ensure that your building is functioning optimally throughout its life cycle.